Hello, I'm Tom.
Hello, I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the couples table.
What was that?
There we go. What is the couples table, Heather?
Couples Table is a weekly live stream podcast here on the channel. Join us for better or worse,
Sickness and health.
richer or poorer.
As long as we both shall live. I always get the order mixed up.
Yeah.
I say richer or poorer.
I don't really know how it goes. We'll have to practice that
things.
again. Anyway, hello. Welcome to episode 19. We tried to go live last week, but we had technical difficulties and instead decided to just play Among Us with our Discord server, which was so much fun.
Yeah, we were going to play Among Us as a live stream, and it was going to be great, and it all made sense until right before we went on live, and then it didn't make any sense, and then everything stopped working, and then I panicked, and then we just stopped. So that's pretty much what happened then.
We will try to do it again at some point, but it was still so much fun. Do we have the Discord server? If you want to join our Discord server,
You can drop it in the chat over there.
I don't know how to do that. I'll drop the link. But anyway, hang out with us. It's fun over there. We can connect outside of the couples table live stream.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm hearing a thing. Is that?
I think it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Cool. All right, cool.
Yeah, so this week, we don't have like a specific topic we wanted to stick to because much like as has happened in the past, you kind of have different things you want to talk about, but each one specifically might not be like a whole episode's worth. So we're just going to kind of like share a few things. That's why we call it a hodgepodge episode. And of course, you know, those of you watching live are more than welcome to kind of jump in, maybe ask a few questions, throw in your insights, and we can just kind of hang out together. And that's been one of my favorite things as we've sort of got like this community going here is to actually like hang out in real time with one another. I think that's really fun. You looking at yourself?
I like my hair right now, babe. It looks good. Yeah, so Q&A and...
Well, before we start the Q&A, we were talking right before this started, and we were watching today's episode of the Philip DeFranco Show. Highly recommended. And one of his top stories was that there's no YouTube Rewind this year for 2020. And we started talking about it. I was starting to go into my opinion, and Heather was like, I have opinions. We should save it. So this was a conversation we were having before the show started. I don't know what Heather's opinion is, and I'm kind of curious on what it is because I sure know what my opinion is. If you don't know what YouTube Rewind is, it's supposed to be like a montage, you know, looking back on the year of YouTube, but of course it gears mostly towards like the most popular things, the most popular trends, creators, and ultimately like for the YouTube platform, as my understanding is, it's really like their advertising show reel. It's like, you know, it's all very much like, look, this is what it is. They send that out to advertisers over the year and get more people to advertise with them. Oftentimes it's pretty criticized pretty heavily.
I mean, I think oftentimes it's been epic and people have, you know, really looked forward to them. But because of that, I think it's 2018 is the one that kind of just bombed, or maybe 2017.
2018 was very Fortnite focused, and it just
they just went downhill from there. But I mean, in my opinion, like I don't think it's something I can hate on because it just seems weird to hate on something that's a montage of what's created on the platform. Like, of course there's going to be stuff on there that I don't know who these people are. This is a, you know, section of YouTube that I don't know, you know, I don't know this content. I don't know this genre, but it's just cool to see, like, you know, like last year's video was really cool. Everyone criticized it because it was like a top 10 lists kind of video, but I thought it was cool. It was cool to see like the, you know, the most popular, like, I don't know, Asian YouTuber or Middle Eastern YouTuber. And I thought that was cool, but I could see how, you know, people who are very loud and active on YouTube are like, this is not what this is not what's in my YouTube world. So
do you remember who hosted last year?
YouTube.
No, I know, but like, didn't they have a host as the countdown?
It was like, you know,
graphics.
Graphics, yeah.
I feel like there was a host. Well, Let's see here. Let's jump in and look over this. Well, first, Jean Salvatore is here.
Hi.
Who says, Maureen just finished preparing an amazing chicken tortilla soup. No need for me to leave and grill. Perfect. See?
Yay.
We did that just for you. And then back to the rewind topic. Ron is here and says, rewind is when they make a short film about the popular kids on YouTube who then turn out to be problematic about 9 minutes after the video drops.
So what is your take on?
Well, okay. My take is the letter that Philip DeFranco read from YouTube explaining why they're not doing it this year was basically that 2020 has been what it is, and based on that, they didn't feel that it was like appropriate to do like yay crazy YouTube montage, but they were very appreciative of all the creators and things who had used the platform to still be creative, uplifting, kind of power through at what is a difficult year for a lot of people. My initial impulse was, if you're saying it, everybody knows on planet Earth at this point that 2020 is like not the most ideal year. That's not news. But if you're saying you use this platform to do really good things, to me, that's like, well, isn't that all the more reason to highlight that? That's my thought is, I don't know. I mean, that would be a cool thing to share your platform. And that's when Heather was like, I have opinions. But
So I totally agree. I totally agree. And like, I saw Dominic saying like things were cringy. I think I don't know what it says about me, but I find very few things cringy. Like when what someone sees as cringy, I see as like super cute and adorable and positive, and I
hate the word cringe.
Like I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute, and everyone's like, oh, cringe. So I don't know what that says about me. Like I said, but I the thing about YouTube is like you have this audience of like, let's call it middle school boys.
Sure.
That are just, they're going to dislike and hate on the video without even watching it.
Yeah,
like they are ready to just crap on that video. And that's why as a company, why would I spend the time, energy, resources to create something that people are just going to crap all over?
Fair enough.
Like why create the platform for everyone to like, to be negative towards a thing? Because I think that the branding and the association with YouTube Rewind is so negative. I really feel like I don't even think that there's any coming back from it, in my opinion.
I think this is maybe their jumping off point into not doing it anymore. Just they don't have to, which like Ron,
imagine being the company that made the video and then it's like the most disliked video ever. How horrible.
I know. And Ron said, I think the issue is that YouTube isn't this one homogenous thing, and anyone who watches a lot of YouTube will still not have a clue who 70% of the people in the Rewind video are.
I mean, I'd argue more than that even.
Yeah. I mean, and that is super true. And it's not like, I'm definitely not watching it to see my favorite creators. Although once in a while, like someone I recognize will pop up. But, I don't know. It just...
And the thing is,
figured the world wasn't a worse place with it in general, so...
I think people just forget that like YouTube, it's not VidCon, it's not, it has a community aspect, but again, I think it's really it's a showcase reel for advertisers to be like, look how family friendly our platform is. And here are all the creators you could potentially work with. And to me, like, I think the exciting part about Rewind is seeing I think people are excited to see their favorite creators get together, but honestly, like if creators just get together on their own or someone makes their own Rewind video, it's always going to be better.
Because people do that anyway. And then if there's not an official one, lots of people of all
end up making
audience sizes will just do their own thing. And it probably will end up having like a more authentic, like homegrown feel to it, which could be actually really fun.
It's like someone in that genre, like someone could do all of like the camera people, and make one that's specific. Like if you are a fan of this genre, you're gonna love everyone in this video because it's everyone that's popular in the genre.
Did you ever see? I think it was like maybe like 2007, something around there, when Conan hosted the Emmys, and his intro was he went through like every show that was popular that year.
Oh yeah, you showed me this.
I love that. He
was a character in all of them, right?
Yeah, he like goes through everything. He's like at one point, he's on the Lost Island because Lost was still on the air, and he opens up the hatch and goes down the hatch and then comes out the ceiling in the office and then like engages with the office and then finds himself like in one of the interview talking heads on the office. And it's I loved that. That was like a really fun way. That to me that had like the vibe that it almost feels like Rewind is going for, where you're like, this is really fun and it's sort of like celebrating stuff that I like, but it's very, I don't know. I just feel like that had the vibe a little more authentically.
Yeah, there's some good points in the comments here.
The big one being for your audience of middle school boys, Ron said, yes, the edgelord phase that occurs the day their first hair appears on their chest.
It sucks because they can be so
wonderful.
They can be so wonderful, but it's like, it's the, your Fortnite experience, your single Fortnite experience is just the epitome of the interaction.
Have we
on
talked
YouTube.
about that on here?
I think so. I don't know.
If you didn't listen, my Fortnite experience, this was a couple years ago, probably when, Rewind 2018 was big and all my students were playing Fortnite and it was like the most popular thing ever. We can put the mouse in the middle so that way
because I can do it while you're...
We can do comments. Sorry, we're still learning our new streaming software, but I was like, okay, I'm not really interested in like playing Fortnite, but I am interested in understanding what like all of the students I work with every day are talking about. So I'm going to like download it and play it. I had it on my Switch. So it was on the TV with like the big speakers. And so I am a grown-up in our house with our giant TV and our really nice sound system. Very grown-up. These things we've worked to purchase on our own as adults. And I bring that up because as soon as I logged in the game, it was just what sounded like a 12-year-old just through the speakers in our house insulting me. My screen name was So Darn Tom, and he said I so darn sucked, which is kind of funny. And then lots of insults just thrown around, and I don't think... I definitely didn't finish that round. I was just like, well, I'm going to be closing this now, and that was about that. But yeah, that feeling that happens during like early adolescence is not my favorite thing to be around. That's why I don't teach middle school.
People have also been saying that YouTube talking about social issues on something they're monetizing seems like it runs hollow. I thought it was good to raise awareness, but I see the point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is, it does have a very, I don't know if corporate's the right word, but definitely that kind of a feel to it. It's
like you can come off that way for sure.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, there's the creator I like, but they're not, it's like when Jake Paul's on the Disney Channel. Like,
right.
This is weird.
I just got the email that we went live. So.
Oh, did you hear we went live?
Cringe these days is being used like cliche. What defines cringe for me is anything that makes me feel secondhand embarrassment. Yes. Oh my God. Secondhand embarrassment. This is why I don't watch like American Idol, because I just can't.
Well, that's what like
I literally felt secondhand embarrassment for a little bit for the whole 4 Seasons thing.
Oh yeah,
like for a little bit.
Total landscaping.
Yes.
Well, so talking about The Office, like that was where like the idea of cringe humor like made its way into my world. Was that thing where you're, especially the original, like the British Office, where it's like you don't even want to watch it because it's just like like you're literally cringing at like the idea. Yeah. But the reason I don't like it is not because I don't understand what people mean when they say it. It's because having taught many students, like that is just the criticism of something. Why don't I like? It's just kind of cringe. It's just kind of cringe. I don't want to do it. It's cringe, and it's this thing that just stops them from doing or trying because they don't want to be cringy or it's cringe. And I'm like, get over that and like like stop. Like it drives me nuts because I just see it paralyzing people who would otherwise like be creative because they don't want to be cringe, and it just drives me crazy.
Also, Scott says, I miss Tom's blue audio cord.
Yeah,
okay,
me too.
It like totally...
It's in the trash.
It was on his live stream. His 40,000 also...
I ordered 2 new ones, though, so I have backup. And they should actually be here like today, later, but...
If you guys, for some reason, don't watch Tom's channel, you should if you don't. But
yeah.
If you don't, he hit 40,000 subscribers. Yay! And we did a super fun 2-hour live stream on his channel...
On Monday.
Yeah. God, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, that was super fun.
But it was really fun.
During the live stream, that cable completely like started dying, and it was a real bummer. But I ordered more, and they're on the way.
Oh, see, Ron filled them in.
Ron is tech support. There was a thread. I think it was I think it was during the live stream, actually. Somebody was asked things, and they went back and forth, like 5 replies, and he was just like explaining how we were doing, like what we're doing. And I was like, cool, heart, because I don't have to answer the question.
All right, well, there we go.
Awesome.
So you two rewind. Someone go make it.
Everybody make your own rewind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was one of the things that
was there something else we wanted to talk about?
There was something right before we went on where you said like, oh, did I ask you about whatever? I'll bring it up on the thing. I don't know what it was.
I think it was rewind.
That wasn't rewind. It was after that. I was clicking over here and you were like, did we do blah, blah, blah? And I don't know what, honestly don't know what it was. We were also talking about.
Hi, Preston Jensen.
Oh, we're also talking about podcast stuff. Preston has a new episode of his podcast out, which you should check out because you know who his guest is?
Is it you?
No, it's Valentina V.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
A really cool interview.
Great.
And, we were always talking about like female representation and stuff. So she's a great one. Fun fact, actually, this little light sitting right back here, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Ding.
Ding.
It's the same one that's like above us as the hair light. It's the IntelliTech Pocket Cannon Mini, which is a great little light. I'm always kind of like, what is the next gear to invest in? And Valentina posted this thing on Twitter, which was like a behind the scenes lighting thing of an Apple event that she worked for. And she was showing like the person sitting at their desk, and then she was showing the lighting setup, and she had little lights like this that were just kind of shooting at them from the back and like really like lighting up their edges and looking really cool. I was like, oh, you know what? If I could get another one of those lights, that would be awesome to have, not just for me, but also for like when I do products in my videos, having a stronger edge light. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because that light is $150, and I was thinking about this the other day. I would bet that in terms of production value, that $150 light is going to add more to my videos than if I upgraded to like a $4,000 camera, because gear makes a difference, but putting your money in the right place where it matters. I have a whole podcast episode I'm working on about this, but that was just kind of a cool thing, I thought. So anyway, it's all tied together.
I know, isn't that crazy? Like sometimes I don't even know what we're on. We're just, is this a podcast? Is this your channel? Is this my channel? Like, who knows?
It's all just a hodgepodge, actually.
Oh, okay. So Scott has a question. So we didn't have anything planned, like we said. So feel free to have this be a Q&A. So submit your Qs. I think also what we're going to do, because this is the 9th.
Yeah, this is
19th episode. I think we're going to drop the eCam link in the chat. So if you guys want to join us, that'd be great. But I wanted to see if we can give you guys a
prompt,
so you're not just like, we're just awkwardly sitting here.
There's a lot of steps that have to happen for them to awkwardly be sitting there.
I just want to, You know what I kind of wanted to do? You know how James does categories on his, James and Mark? I kind of want to do that with the guest. That'd be kind of fun.
We don't have like categories though.
That's easy to pull up though.
Is that the secret thing that you were going to tell me?
No, I don't know what that was. I don't remember that. Okay, so Scott had a question.
Sure. Great, Scott. Oh.
Are there video games you play together as a couple?
Yes.
What were you going to say?
I would say Animal Crossing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We share a main island.
Let's see.
Although all the characters have been asking where Heather's been because
I haven't been on. Because I've been, you know why? Because I've been learning Japanese, yo.
It's true. Which is,
Konnichiwa.
Yes. Which is a worthy endeavor. What else we played, you know what a really great one is, which we've done twice together all the way through, is Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, co-op.
Because that's a really good...
Yeah.
That was fun. It was Christmas break of 2017 was when we got the Switch.
That's so much fun.
Which was hilarious because, I remember it was, our first Christmas break together. We weren't doing anything. We had no plans. We were just, home for 2 weeks. And it was so nice. It felt like such a break of time. And I remember... I was I forget what it was. We were playing the Ace Attorney series on your DS.
See, that's what I was going to say.
Oh.
So I know it's one player, but the entire Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series is It's so good. So what we would do is we would just play every night before bed, together.
Like on the DS.
Even though it's a one-player game, but it's basically a graphic novel that's like interactive.
Yeah, you can easily play it together.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get my own DS, so I got like a DS Lite. And this was where I was like, I felt like the biggest baller in the world because I got the DS Lite, and then we got home. I was like, this is pretty cool, but I really think that Switch would be neat. So then we went back to Best Buy, and the same day I got a Switch. And then we discovered Mario Odyssey, and it was like, we got Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart to start us off on the Switch.
Okay, you guys have to guess who is who when we play Odyssey. Who plays what?
Because who's Mario, play, who's Cappy?
Yeah, we definitely default.
Yeah, it's really like a 90-10 split between who is what character most of the time.
Is that a preference, or is it just how it was?
I think it's just the natural order, we'll call it. Yeah. So if you haven't played Mario Odyssey and you have a Switch, it is a fun, like, you can play it, solo, but it's a great like couch co-op game.
Yeah.
It's very.
So anyway, there's Mario, and then he has
his hat.
He has a hat, and
his hat is like haunted.
Yeah, the hat is like the second player. So anyway, guess who's who?
It's really fun, and some things like, I mean, you really got to work together, and you're like yelling at each other not yelling at each other, but emphatically.
Oh, James, I thought you were asking because you knew. So yeah, the second character is Cappy.
Right.
But who's the other character in Odyssey that you control?
Oh yeah, it's his hat.
Yeah.
So Ron nailed it. Tom is Cappy 90% of the time. Yes, he is.
He's so good at it though, guys.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's not.
But I love
things where it's
I love how you can tell. What does that mean? What does that say?
It means you were a big sister growing up.
Oh my god.
No, but later in the game, when you get towards the end and there's those crazy levels where it's like hop, 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 and wall jumps and this and that, I straight up can't do it. And she's the only one that can do it. So she needs to be Mario for like a lot of parts of the game.
I have to switch to turn on the light. Does that count?
It is a Switch.
Oh, I get it.
If you just write Nintendo on it, then it is a Nintendo Switch.
Yelling to each other. Are we yelling to each other?
Yelling at each other, but yelling to each other. Well, because it's not like, it's just sort of like, I don't remember. It's been a while since we played, but, it's like, Cappy, like, do a thing.
Cappy.
I don't know. And then you do it or you don't. Usually I need a couple practice tries to get the timing down. Once I get the timing, it's good.
All right. Give us more questions, guys. Do you have questions? What else is on your mind?
Do I have questions?
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
What? Really?
Just about life in general, but not so much podcast related. But my life is full of questions right now. And exhaustion, which is one of the reasons we don't have a specific topic, is because
it's been like, tiring week. Well, this guy is like chronic fatigue at this point.
Yeah, I'm dying.
And I feel bad because yesterday was his day off, and I was like, Tom, let's go on a hike. And we did, and it was like 3 miles, which is, really.
It wasn't bad at all, but I've been having like weird allergies, and I've never had allergies before, and like, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through the hike, I started getting like weird allergy thing, which then was just like, I was like sneezing, headache, like nausea. I don't know. It was terrible. I got home. I thought I was dying. But otherwise, it was fun.
Okay, so Ron, how nervous are you about the political landscape at the minute? This is what I texted you this morning.
Me? Oh, yeah. You sent me a tweet.
Yeah. Because Tom went to work, actually went to school today. So every time it's Thursday, he goes to work, and then we just try to text each other what we think we're going to talk about in the couples table.
Oh, yeah.
So I, go through.
I didn't realize that's what you were texting me. I thought you were just texting me something for fun. I didn't know that was a topic suggestion, which is why I just replied yeah, that's funny. Haha.
Yeah, because I'm so fascinated by. So you want to read the tweet?
Sure. Yeah, it's a tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene at MT Green with 2 E's at the end. She's a U.S. House candidate for Georgia's 14th district. And it says, let's look at some absentee voting history. 2012, Obama received 87,487. 2016, Clinton received 98,417. 2020, Biden received 849,182. Notice anything fishy? And then she put a link to stopthebidensteal.com.
And let's preface this. Let's preface this with how do we preface this? First of all,
we never dive into politics.
We don't dive into politics, and I don't want to dive into politics because I feel like I think we can do it. I think the people here on this channel can do it. I think we can have a conversation without, judging each other for the differences we have in opinion and all of that. But unfortunately, the landscape is so tense right now that if someone disagrees with you on something, it's like out for blood by default, which is really frustrating because you can't get to common ground. It's just us versus them. But without getting into politics, the thing that I texted Tom about with this particular tweet is like I'm fascinated by I don't know what to call it. I was gonna say phenomenon.
Yes.
The behavior of people believing in conspiracy versus reality. Like I'm just fascinated by that. I'm not going to judge you. I tell this to Tom all the time. I would love to sit down with a flat earther, not because I'm trying to convince them that the world is round, but I just want to understand like how you came to that very passionate conclusion.
What's happening?
Yeah. Like tell me, like, I'm not going to judge you. I just want to understand. Right. Because I'm curious. I'm like genuinely curious. And I've seen a lot of that through this election cycle. I'm curious as to why people they would literally rather believe a conspiracy theory that has like no evidence behind it versus reality, which is, I think before 2020 you could have argued is just, okay, it's boring. Conspiracy is always going to be sexier and more exciting or whatever. But in 2020, the reality is pretty insane. Like once in 1,000 years kind of a situation. But people would still rather believe conspiracy, which is bizarre to me.
I mean, there's that because it's also, you want your side to win, so you'll look for anything. But I earlier this year when, especially in like the US, there's the big like COVID is a hoax thing, which is like, gosh, the coordination on a global scale would just be wildly impressive. But part of me thought that if people believed that, it wasn't so much, it was more like the reality is so scary that there is a deadly virus like ravaging the world, something out of a movie that we don't have a solution for yet, and we don't have any kind of end dates, that it's like almost comforting to go like, no, it's a conspiracy, and there's, if we just stop these people, it would all go away because it's just, like there's a button you could press and everybody would stop, and then it's almost comforting because it's in control, even though it's kind of dark and shady, as opposed to the reality, which is like it's just totally out of control. So that, sometimes I think there's that part of it, is it's almost like a comfort.
And if you didn't get the tweet, I think it's a lot more compelling when you see it rather than us read it. Yeah. So basically what she's implying is that, there's hundreds of thousands more people who registered,
who voted by mail,
who voted as absentee ballot, who voted by mail.
That was a weird noise outside.
What's that?
I don't know.
Hold on.
I don't know if you guys heard this. Oh.
Oh, was the package?
My XLR cables got like thrown at the front door.
Gosh, that's terrifying.
Thanks, FedEx. So if you heard a loud crash right now,
it's like right
literally
outside.
the box of my XLR cables being thrown at the front door.
Anyway, what the lady was implying was because there's hundreds of thousands more ballots, she was like, oh, anything fishy. So it's like, oh, why are all these people...
How is this number so
there's
much
something
bigger?
suspicious, about hundreds of
there's a global pandemic. So people didn't want to go out and to vote. And then also there has been a campaign to encourage early voting by mail for like a year. So people did. I don't know.
And it's
to me, that's pretty obvious.
And I can't believe that, like, obviously she's so convinced that something's fishy that she would tweet about it and leave it up. Like, and I can't believe, I don't know. It's just, I'm curious. Surely someone has pointed this out to you, but you do not. Anyway, if you wanted to change the subject, Renee is here. What's up, Renee?
Oh, wow. Thoughts on Apple's new M1 chip. I do have thoughts on Apple's M1 chip because I am very excited about this. And Apple announced it just yesterday that they're... my very first Mac that I bought was the first Intel iMac. So I watched that keynote in 2006, or maybe it was like 2005 when they announced they're switching over. They released their first Intel Core Duo iMac, and I bought mine. And it was really cool, but I remember, but it did take like 2 years or something before they were fully switched over to Intel. Now Apple's doing the same thing because Intel, basically, like, their chip development has kind of hit a roadblock for the past few years. They haven't really been, if you're wondering why computers haven't like made these leaps forward, they just sort of plateaued. And Apple's way around it was to go, well, we'll just develop our own chips, because through the iPhone and the iPad over the past, decades plus, they've gotten really good at developing their own chips. And now they're going to do that for their desktop and laptop computers, which is supposedly a way to like open up, more power, more accessibility, which is very exciting. And they just announced their first batch of those computers yesterday, which is super cool. And they seem amazing and seem powerful. I have nothing negative to say. And they kept the prices either the same or a little lower. However, that was weird. However, the thing that I've learned with Apple when they make huge leaps forward, new processors, brand new device, there's such a huge difference between Apple Watch Series 0, the original, and like Apple Watch Series 2. There's a huge difference between the original iPhone, iPhone 3G, original iPad, iPad 2. Less of a difference between them, the generations that come after. I kind of have the feeling that the M1 chip is going to be great, but there's going to be a huge difference between the M2, and so I'm personally holding off until kind of the second generation of chips, which also my computer is like barely a year old, so I have no interest in getting a new computer anyway. But you have been laughing the whole time I was talking about computer chips.
I'm snickering at people in the comments. First of all, do they really deliver your packages like that?
Usually no, but
I don't know what that was. I thought someone was trying to get in.
Maybe
it was so
he fell
loud.
down or something.
No. God, that's crazy.
It's the holiday rush. He just ran by and was like, wow.
Not an Apple fan, but damn, the presentation video production level is sick.
Apple really quickly adapted to how to do virtual events. Just kind of hope they keep doing them.
I have to do a whole bunch of new certifications on M1 hardware.
Oh, really? Interesting. I guess that makes sense.
When it comes to tech, from an outsider perspective, it's Apple versus everyone else. What is that?
I mean, it kind of is, because Apple has their so-called walled garden, where it's like you play with them or you don't.
I know.
And everybody else can mix and match. But I mean, I'm happy to be in the walled garden personally, so I have no complaints.
There you go.
Yeah.
There were some people talking about our previous discussion.
The politics.
There's an old phrase: if you repeat a lie enough, it becomes truth. And if you're disenfranchised enough from the political system,
This is Gene.
Then you want to believe things that best fit your narrative.
Which is, I mean, that's it's so interesting to me.
Sorry. Go ahead, babe. What's interesting to you, babe?
It's so interesting to me how you can find stuff to back up your point of view no matter what it is. And there have been times, I forget what the political story was because there have been so many, but it was a case, I think it was actually something to do with somebody taking someone else to court earlier this year, like politicians. And, one person said this thing happened and the other person said another thing happened. And I was like, both people are staring straight face into the camera, talking to the judge, saying these things. And somebody is lying. Maybe the truth is a gray, muddy area in the middle, but I don't even remember what this was because there have been so many controversies this year. But this was something where there really wasn't a gray area. It's is the light on or is it off? That kind of a question. And it's everybody is so earnest, but somebody is straight up lying. And to me, it boggled my mind that somebody would be comfortable, that you could live with yourself lying that way. Not a little white lie, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay at work a little late, and then I go shopping for an engagement ring. Like, that's kind of a different little thing, and I still felt super guilty about that. But I'm talking about like, no, I didn't do that thing that I absolutely know that I did, but I'm gonna tell you I didn't, and that you're crazy for thinking I would, even though I know I did. And then people will jump on and be like, there's the truth, and other people are like, well, this is the truth over here. It's crazy. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say like, I don't even. So there. It disappoints me and makes me sad when people lie, because it's like I feel crappy when I do it the very few times that I do. So the fact that people can do it so easily just makes me feel weird. Mm-hmm. I feel weird. But I'm talking about people who, because like even just looking at that tweet, like I feel like she isn't lying about anything. She genuinely believes that the conspiracy is true. So, and we've talked about this before. I've asked you about this. Like, if it is just ignorance or denial, like, can you fault someone for that, right? Like, it's weird how you can. I don't know. It's weird. What this election cycle has shown me is that people can have, of course they're gonna have their own echo chamber and all of those things, but that you can build a world around a conspiracy and then become in a position of power where your decision is affecting people who are not necessarily also believers of that conspiracy. But obviously people enable you to be in that position in the first place. So it's like, I don't know, it's scary. See, now I sound like a conspiracy person.
No, you don't. Because this is where...
I'm just curious about it. Like, I'm wondering if there's a cure to that. Is there, like, can I sit down with that lady?
Yeah, it's called education.
Like, can I sit down with her, and is she just going to hate me, like, immediately?
Here's what I think that's happening in that case. Because you're like, should people be held accountable and that sort of thing? I like, say that half jokingly about, like, education being the answer. But, like, also, we've spent, like, more than half a century like dismantling decent education in this country, and now we're wondering like, why is everyone so dumb? Well, that's why. And then the other part is, in her case, she's running for Congress, so she just needs people behind her. She doesn't care. I don't want to get... I was going to get too political, and I'm not going to.
Don't get too political.
She needs people to support her, so she's going to share things that are going to appeal to people who are looking for something that fits their narrative, and then something they can get behind that suits them.
So it's the same feeling that I feel, to tie it all back. It's the same feeling that I feel when I am thinking about what to make for a thumbnail. Because I know I have the option to make it like a little bit more spicy or, clickbaity, but it's like, I don't want to. I just want it to be what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm a marketer too. I know there has to be an angle, but like, I feel like, okay, if she isn't ignorant, right? If she is like, something fishy is going on just for the engagement and the clicks, like, oh, that's yucky too. Like, I don't know.
It's weird. I don't know. This is what you just said reminded me of last night on Reddit. I was reading a post. It was about like a YouTube thing where this person was like, I have just crossed 65,000 subscribers after 1 year on YouTube, and I'd like to share like my 10 things that I learned, blah, blah, blah. And there was their 10 things. And of course there's like a link to their channel, and they're like, oh, I'm in the ASMR niche. And then I didn't click on the channel, but then people were like, oh, now we get it. And then you do click on the channel, and it's attractive girl in low cut top with high camera angle. And they're like, so there's probably more to like why you hit 60,000 in a year than just because you make good videos. Like, knowing your video production is decent. They're like, I don't think like us overweight dudes are going to have the same success following the exact same path that you followed. And I was like, that is interesting. And this just kind of, what you just said sort of reminded me of that. Like, there's angles that you can take or not take. Like, sometimes you might not even really be aware of it, like,
and it makes me, it disappoints me. It's hard to express how I feel, like it disappoints me, but I also know I fall for it, like that chick, of course, the low cut top and the high camera angle, like, yeah, you're going to get to 60,000 faster, but I just feel bad that that's a thing. Like it should. I wish it weren't that. And if I were her, I would feel horrible.
Well, I just feel like it would be
but I don't know. Maybe she
unsatisfying.
doesn't.
But I mean, she seems psyched about because also like,
Yeah,
to her credit,
who am I to say?
she was working on lighting and camera and
Well, good
audio
for
and all this
her.
stuff. But it's like, you know, there's a certain thing that has nothing to do with any of that, which is why also your channel is growing.
Okay, hold up. Okay, we have more questions, but let's see. I just want to stay on topic, and then we'll go back to the other questions.
Heather's so good at moderating comments. Let me tell you.
Oh my God, you guys! If you were there for Tom's,
me. Hi, we're married.
I'm reading it that
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
God, you're so mean to me. Jeez, babe. Ay. Okay, I think a lot of the Republican discourse online isn't done in good faith and doesn't really have an equivalent in left-leaning talking points.
Ron knows how to like say what I'm thinking in a nicer, more elegant way.
Education is a silver bullet. Let's see. Okay, are we caught up?
I think we're getting close here. There.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, on Tom's freaking stream, oh my God, I was so dizzy. I think I had motion sickness scrolling through the comments.
Yeah.
And then like my back hurt and my neck hurt because I didn't, I always have the laptop, but then now we're using eCam. So
it's different.
like only Tom, like with StreamYard, multiple people can log in and pop comments onto the screen, but with eCam you can only have like one user.
Like
so
the computer that's
so it's all the way, it's over here. Like Tom is the one who has access to it. So I have my laptop over here, and like my neck was hurting because I was like trying not to get the
trying to be a part of the stream, trying to
laptop-
keep an eye on things, moderate comments, and then copy and paste out questions. to
because
keep things on
also
track.
like I don't know if you know this, but I feel like Tom's channel has the standard of quality is higher because it's Tom's channel. Okay, I don't care if the laptop is here and the freaking water bottle is here. For all I care on this channel, because it's just I don't know. I don't care. I don't know what that says about me. But like on Tom's channel, there's a bunch of photographers and videographers and very like these people that strive for the highest quality possible.
Half the people who are here right now.
I know, but you had like 200 people on there.
That was fun.
Anyway, I tried my best.
And I felt bad because right before I was like,
so
can you just
sore
moderate
after.
comments a little bit? And it turned into like a
Ooh.
paid position, basically.
Okay, anyway, let's go back to... I saw some questions. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life? That's easy.
That's easy
That's
for
so
you.
easy.
I would rather have pause.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't you want rewind?
I'd want more time.
Right. But does everything pause except for you and you can like take a nap, or is like everything just paused and you also can't do anything?
I think with these questions, you're not allowed to ask follow-up. It's supposed to be the instinctual answer.
Well, I would go for pause.
Andrew Baker.
Hello.
Apple desktops aren't just better value for performance in desktop, but of course, locked into Apple ecosystem, you don't have an easy choice.
Yeah, it's tricky. I really like iMacs, and I use a lot of them. My whole work classroom is based on iMacs, and I've been like really wanting one because they're fun to work with, but it's hard to argue like, why would you get an iMac instead of just a MacBook with the display? I don't know.
I've been trying to think of what this word is all day.
Salacious.
Salacious is the word.
Yes.
I keep saying
That's a
sexy.
good
It's
word.
not the word. It's salacious.
Yes.
Thank you, Gene. I feel like I can make it big in the ASMR YouTube field. I might have to target a particular dynamic, though. Yes.
I like that.
Derek Snyder. Hello.
Oh, Ron said you were working overtime on that 40K stream. You really were.
Dude.
I mean, she's just good at what she does when it comes to like organizational leadership stuff. Nobody's better.
We wore robes last week without shirts on underneath.
James and Mark are saying. For people who are listening, they might know this.
And have been asked multiple times to start an OnlyFans. That's not the kind of share sparking I was looking for. Wow. I don't even know how I would feel about that. I mean, it's weird for us to even get compliments on how we look. So
I've had a number of compliments telling me that I'm adorable lately.
Aww, because you are.
I found people talking to each other about like, I know he is adorable, blah, 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 blah. I was like,
I got to get up in there and leave my comment faster.
Don't worry, babe. You always get the heart right away.
Let's see.
Ron says, how about Heather screen shares Tom's laptop so she can click comments? Screen shares Tom's. Well, I think this is kind of working now. We literally just moved the mouse.
Yeah, just put it in the middle.
And problem solved.
Paul Feinberg.
Oh, hey, Paul.
Hi.
It's really nice to see you here.
You need mods. We need mods. I think we're gonna have some of you guys like couples table Discord server people be mods.
If you want.
Yeah, if you want.
Very helpful.
James, you were killing it as a mod. Like,
yeah.
He was like acknowledging the super chats and like telling people to like. That was so sweet.
Oh man, that was hard. I don't know, because that was 200 people, and James and Mark, you guys have had like 1,300 people in some of your streams.
I know, it's so crazy.
I don't know how you even like, because luckily like something happened where I don't pay attention to the view count of live streams for whatever reason. Never do, like never think of it to look, but I just noticed when like I can't keep up with the chat scrolling by.
So funny.
Going back to that conversation a few weeks ago about Tom being a snack. Whoa, and a blank check and a handshake.
Yeah.
That's like our.
Someone told me
like
now that I look like a blank check and a handshake.
We talked about that on here because remember my voice. You were reading your comment. It was on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, now it's a running joke.
Now it is the running joke. A blank check and a handshake. I don't even know what that means. I just like, I know what it feels like it means. But if you ask me like, what does that mean? I don't really know.
Ow, Finley.
He's getting
just bit my toe.
He's getting bitey.
Let's see. The thing that is upsetting is when people say, hey, you didn't read my chat. And it's like, we didn't do it on purpose. We haven't had that. Yours was too crazy.
It's tricky because like you want to acknowledge people, but you also, if the whole stream is just like, thanks person, like who that's not interesting to watch or to listen to. So you have to find this weird balance where you're like, you're keeping the conversation going, but you're acknowledging people, but you're not losing focus. In my Zoom classes that I teach, because when you left the stream, like there's no point in even watching my stream after Heather leaves because everything just fell apart and then I ended it.
Which is so funny because I always, this is just going to turn into like a stream about your stream is what this is. Streamception. Well, because I'm so conscious. Okay. If you guys know Tom in real life, okay, he's very like particular about things. Like he knows what he wants and he wants things done a certain way. And I'm like, I don't care. So I'm very conscious of like, he puts so much work into all the details and I really want to make sure that I'm at his level.
You're past the level.
But the other thing is like, what was I gonna say on his stream? Oh yeah. I just feel like it's weird for me to be there sometimes because the people that watch Tom's like videos are very like they're creators, they're makers, they're doers, and they all like it's just a lot of people who like high quality stuff, and then I come over here.
I think you make it so much better because I mean that's always why I ask you.
Well, if you think that, then that's what matters.
The stream
but
is
like
absolutely better.
Sometimes I feel like as a fan, like would I want the significant other in the picture?
There's people I watch that have theirs on too. I think
I just don't.
What worries me, to be honest, is when someone does ask a like in the weeds technical question that I'm excited to answer. like, we're going to talk about video codecs or something. And I'm like, oh, I have such strong opinions. And then I want to talk about it. And I'm like, I don't want this to be boring for you.
Oh, I was just working, you know?
Yeah.
I loved it. It was
Yeah,
fun.
no, it was wonderful. I forget why I even brought that up. There was a reason a while ago, which had nothing to do with this, but it was just sort of related to whatever we were talking about before. I really like Ron's thing of, I have a specific question about how to use my camera you haven't used. Please answer. I love it when people do things where they're like, review the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how? Like, I know I guess because it's on YouTube, you just assume I can just get everything for free, but I don't. And don't know how to do that. Was that the Roomba?
No, it was Alexa telling me that the thing got delivered. Wait, once you have a comment placed on screen, decided you can just double click them to add to broadcast. Also set auto hide at like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Can you add more than one?
You can have it auto hide and disappear. I actually turn that off because sometimes we talk about comments for an extended period and I kind of like having them up.
Yeah. Do you two have a couple time TV show you both like to watch together?
Oh, we have so many.
The Queen's Gambit.
That was a great one.
So good. I
Lots
can't
of
wait to
anime
watch
series.
it again. Yeah.
Currently, we're redoing Steins Gate. That's a good one. Black Butler. The
Millionaire Detective.
Yeah. And Fruits Basket. I mean, most of what we watch together.
We're like halfway through Breaking Bad because I got traumatized after.
Through.
Oh, I thought we were.
We're close. We're at the season finale of season 2. And this is okay. It's so funny because Queen's Gambit came out, which is amazing. Like, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's so good on every level.
It's so good. I can't wait to watch it again,
it's like
guys.
Perfect.
So good.
And there's very few interviews with the cast and crew about it right now. But Heather was watching one, and the main actress, they asked her, like, what is a series that you've watched more than once? She's like, there's not really anything except Breaking Bad. And
okay, so here's the thing about Breaking Bad, guys.
no, it's...
Or is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say, it's such a good show. And, I watched it when it came out, and I'm all into Better Call Saul. But it definitely... it does not leave you feeling the same way that, like...
You went in.
Yeah. Yeah, and... I think for Heather, who appreciates it and likes the story and is into it, there's that feeling, that Breaking Bad feeling that kind of lingers with you after an episode that is like tough to bounce back from.
Yeah, I always attributed this to me being very empathetic, where like whatever situation I'm watching, or even if I'm like it's happening in real life, like I just immediately feel the emotion that's happening there and it sticks with me. So that's why the last episode that we watched of Breaking Bad, it just like I was like,
it was the episode
thinking about it in the middle of the night. No, don't.
It was Jane's episode. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, whatever. Okay, and it's really hard to bounce back from when people bring not great news to the chat. It's nice that they want to be open with us, but I kind of feel stuck on what to say next. Oh, that hasn't happened to us yet.
It hasn't, but I've seen that on Jane's
Yeah,
because they'll be
you
talking
guys-
about like,
oh,
how do you
do-
like do this barbecue grilly thing, or what are you drinking, and someone's like some devastating medical news or something, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry. So what's our next game? Like,
Really love the show, guys. Anyway, my cat just exploded. I know I'm a creator, Doc.
I know
Rock.
you also are like the one who like inspired.
I know,
so
but
many.
it's just like it's your channel. It's the Tom Buck channel. It's not like
But
like it's the same thing with Casey. Okay, I think all of us here watched Casey, right? And then Dan started being in the vlogs, and straight up, you even said it's not the same.
But there's so many different reasons. I
don't want to take the experience away from your fans. You know what I mean?
No, because what happened, this is what my original point was. After Heather left, the live stream became just like my Zoom classes, where you're trying to think of, like, this is the point I'm trying to make. Also, like, I'm trying to keep track of, like, this chat, and I'm trying to monitor all the, like, tech stuff that's happening at the same time, and then something pops up in the chat, and part of you is just in the peripheral, like, okay, there's more chat stuff to get to, but then you sort of read something, and you're like, your brain kind of switches over, and then you can't finish your thought, and then you're stuttering, and then you're like, oh no, I messed it. It is tough to do all that at once effectively, I experience it every day in my Zoom classes, and you really see it after Heather left. I'm sure that like if it had just been me on the stream from the beginning, maybe I would have hit a rhythm where that wouldn't have happened.
Okay, so you guys all have seen Breaking Bad, it seems. So do you know what episode? Like, don't spoil it, but yeah, after that episode, I couldn't like sleep that night, and then like I just kept thinking about it for the whole week.
Yeah,
and I want to keep going because I want to know what happens, and I want to finish it because I know that Breaking Bad is like a really good show, start to finish. But I keep asking Tom, like, so
there's no uplifting part.
Yeah,
it's not like it doesn't come together for just the most like yes, man, all right. It just doesn't. And honestly, like as good of a show as it is, and as well done as it is, I think that's if you can't continue because of that, I think that's a super valid reason because you don't want to bum you out for a whole day. And I
just need to watch it on like a day, I need to watch it at like 8 a.m.
One episode a day.
Yeah,
early in the day, and then finish out the day with like really fun stuff.
Yeah, hang out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say hang out with friends. We're in a pandemic. I don't know. Okay, Better Call Saul is awesome too.
I actually like it a little bit more than Breaking Bad.
Well, there you go. Breaking Bad is one of the multiple season shows I have finished. Have you seen El Camino?
Yes, I watched that when it came out, and it already came out like a year ago, but. I remember Heather was working or doing something, and I was like on the couch, like sweat stains, because I was like,
I just paused the episode, use a couple bad words to lose my anger, and then I play it again. Yeah. See, so you have Friends, like
Friends, a TV show.
Yeah, but I need like a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's like stuff which I know you can't watch because of motion sickness, but like The Office and Parks and Rec and those things, like the show that you can just throw on any episode and just be like, yes, comfort.
Yeah, you know what that is for me?
What is it?
Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah,
that was like
absolutely.
And it doesn't matter what episode, and I would just feel real good about it.
Yeah, those kind of shows are really important.
Yeah, I forgot what I was. I forgot what we were talking about. Okay, so I don't think I've seen like I think I've seen like 6 episodes of Friends, maybe like 10.
Friends, I definitely lean more towards Seinfeld because they were on at like the same time for most of their runs, and I rewatched Friends a few years ago. Which obviously, like, it is super dated, but the 90s episodes, I guess, gave me such a warm, like, cozy feeling. Because I remember, like, they just gave me, like, this weird nostalgia. I don't even care if the episode was about, but it just felt nice to watch. It's almost like rewatching Frasier. That's a huge show where I'm just like, oh, this show is just so comforting. But, yeah, Friends, I like it, but I'm not as into it as I was other shows.
To see if I saw that you didn't see The Queen's Gambit and Ron. You guys, it's so good.
Yeah, it was one of those shows where Heather was like, I think I'm gonna play this, and I was like,
oh yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna play this show, and then he was like, okay, yeah, I'll just catch up. You know, just I'll be there with my iPad. Yeah, and then like. So Tom came over on the couch with his iPad and he was like, you know, doing whatever. And then like 10 minutes later, I check on him and the iPad's just on the home screen and he's doing absolutely nothing and his eyes are glued to the TV. And I was like, it's a really good show.
Like 10 minutes later, iPad is closed
it's just
and put away.
Good. I like
it's one of those shows that just checks all the boxes. Like story is great and it's not
costume design.
It's not
guys,
predictable.
Costume design.
Production design is insane. Story is great. Acting is great. Music is great. Editing, like good. every part of the process comes together to create something where you're like, this is really cool. And the story weaves itself in a really nice, like it's satisfying, you know.
Just go watch it anyway. So very important question.
Oh, okay.
What are your top 3 tips on playing Among Us? Well, James, you've actually been there, I think, for all of our playtime.
I played a game yesterday with strangers. They killed me.
So I don't have any tips, really. Have fun.
I mean, my tip would be like, have someone else see you doing a task if you're a crewmate. Because if someone sees you,
there you go,
like actively working on something, that's good.
There you go. Yeah, but what happens if you're like not
if you're what has to happen is you got to get some reps in so you remember what some of the tasks are. So when they discuss,
I know
you
someone
are the imposter, you need to be able to say like, I was rerouting the
what
electrical
task are you
wires.
working on? And I was like, shoot, I don't even know.
Yeah, you need to like have a specific thing you can say.
Seinfeld's better than Friends, and Arrested Development is better than anything.
Oh,
everything.
I have been itching to do an Arrested Development rewatch.
Let's see. I've just played Queen's Gambit first episode on my TV and paused it so I don't forget it after the stream.
It's great.
It's so good. It just gets better and better. Let's see. I watch my iPad while my wife watches Hallmark. Oh, that's funny. Do you guys know how to play chess? So, no. Well, yes, kind of.
I used to play chess with my grandma when I was a kid, and now I don't know how.
Well, I know what the pieces do. Tom and I have played chess one time during our relationship. We went, Tom was having a very, very stressful weekend. And
Shocking.
I was like, you know what, babe? I'm going to introduce you to your first full body Swedish massage. So we have like a natural hot spring here in our area. So all of the resorts like in that area, they have like, baths and jacuzzis and stuff that have.
I was coming home from I was at a school event several hours away on a Saturday. And Heather was like, okay, when you're done with that, don't go home, go to this address, which was like the spa.
Yeah. And then so we went there and they had all these amenities, like places where you can relax and hang out and a pool. And but they also had a patio area that had giant chess. Like the chess pieces were like
half as tall
3 feet tall. Yeah. And there was a giant board. And so we played and I was like winning and then I lost.
Yep.
Because Tom beats me in everything.
That's not
the
true.
first time we play. The first time we do anything, he's like, I don't know. I don't even know how to play this game. And then he like kills me.
Not if I'm Mario and not Cappy, though.
Let's see.
I just want put this comment from Ron here. Breaking Bad is Macbeth. Better Call Saul is Hamlet. Now that I've said that, I'm going to muse on it all weekend. It just sounds so good. It has to be true. But actually, it is. Actually, it is true. Wow. Okay.
My top tip: Heather will lie. You won't believe how much she will lie. It's hard for.
Right. Remember we were talking about when you're like, I can't believe someone would just lie.
Okay, literally, if you saw my face.
I didn't because I wasn't allowed to. I just was in the same room with you as you're killing people, and then you're going like, oh no,
okay.
Oh.
The fear that I am expressing is genuine because I am
scared. As the killer, yeah.
My best Among Us tip: get all your tasks done so you can avoid death later. Yeah, that's what I try to do. I just try to I'm like, you guys, can't we just collectively try to get the task done and then we win?
Yeah, I enjoy doing tasks. I actually kind of like being a ghost as well.
Do you two game together? My wife really wants one of the new game consoles. Oh. Okay, if your wife really wants one of the new game consoles, the one I would recommend for couples to play together is just the Switch. I wouldn't even recommend anything else.
Like the new Xbox or PlayStation or anything?
Yeah, because the PlayStation doesn't even have enough games to be worth buying a new console right now. I think we need to wait a little bit for more games to come out. And there's just so many fun couch co-op games that you can play on the Switch. It's made for multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's what I think. This stream just got salacious. Let's see. If you, Heather, and Tom want to play games, I think Virtual Board or we should totally Jackbox. Can we play with them?
We got Jackbox 7.
We got the new Jackbox.
Yeah.
We can. Is there a way? Phones. Yes. Is there a way to stream Jackbox so that we can all play together, guys?
Maybe we could do that next week.
Oh my gosh, how fun!
Because we would just hook the
fun.
Okay. Let's put the brain trust together here. We could show the Switch up on screen.
Yes.
And then everybody who's playing, you just join in on your phone. You don't even need a Switch to join.
Yeah.
And that would be fine.
Yeah, because you just give the code.
And then people play, and then all you need to see if you're viewing anyway.
Well, but there's some games that we can't play because we're not in the same room. Like the speech one, we can't do that.
Oh, right. Yeah, but I think it's possible, though.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's actually... I think it just is literally using the Switch as an HDMI input.
Let's see. Oh, my wife wants to do some cool first-person shooters.
What would you recommend?
I haven't played a first-person shooter since like Halo 2. Yeah, it's been a while, so I don't know. I would lean towards Xbox, but I don't know. Jackbox 7 has really cool ones. I think 6 is a game like Among Us. Oh yeah, my brother was saying that.
Oh, right. Yeah. I've only played Jackbox
We
a couple
should
times,
totally
but it's
play
always
like
hilarious.
a Jackbox thing. Yeah.
And the problem with Jackbox is when you're just starting out, especially in like the fill in the blank ones, you never know, like, are we being goofy? Are we being like as terrible as possible, or like as like gross as possible? And you never know how to test those waters. And sometimes like the best answer is just sort of drift away because you're like, I don't think I want to put that yet. I don't want my name attached to this right now.
That sounds great. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited.
And you only need a smartphone. It's perfect. And it could literally just be like, well, you could either put the code in the Discord or
you
you
know
put it in the
what?
chat. Just the first people to log in are the ones.
So 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in 2 weeks, it's going to be Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. We do this. Oh, yeah.
Are
Yes.
we straight? Are we ever going to do it on Thanksgiving? Well, I was going to say, since you're going to be on Thanksgiving break, for our Across the Ponders.
Yeah, half of our audience isn't even in the U.S., so...
Yeah, so we should stream. We should go live earlier.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, so that way you guys, it's like, what, 3 a.m. over there?
It's you know what? You know what the problem is? The Earth is round. If we lived on a flat Earth, we wouldn't have this time zone problem.
I can't believe you tied it. Oh, you're so funny. Okay. If she likes space. Let's see. I like this game idea. Sounds fun. You guys.
I think
Okay.
this will be great.
We are going to. Okay. So
I can use. You know what the best part is? Our version of Jackbox is located on our Animal Crossing Special Edition Switch.
Wait. So, but what game can we play that's like
Any of the
where you
fill in
don't
the
have to
blank
be in this?
ones.
Oh, the fill in the blank ones.
Yeah, or like the drawing ones. You might even be able to do the speech. You can do the speech one because you don't need to be in the same room really, except they could come on as a guest.
Yeah.
If we're doing the speech one, they just have to be here as a guest.
Okay.
There's one that's like it's pretty funny, but some of them you have to play
There's
to
one
like
that's
get
like
a hang
so
of how it works.
embarrassing. It's the speech one. So basically, like okay, everyone puts in a topic for a speech, just like a random like
It's like a Mad
make a
Libs
make
creation
a
of a
speech about
topic.
whatever. And I put in like pancakes, right? And then your topic is randomly given to someone else in the group, and then another person is responsible for putting together your like PowerPoint presentation.
So you're given like these slide decks that have some like sentence frames on them. Like, well, the thing that'll change your life today is,
Blank.
speech topic. And
Yeah.
that is because ... And then they choose what slide comes next.
Yeah,
Which could
it
just
could
be
be
like
picture.
arbitrary stock photo.
Yeah. And then like you have to give a speech about the topic with that slide deck.
While everybody else who's listening is like,
Judging.
they're literally like mapping, like focus grouping their engagement with like
Yeah.
how they feel about your speech. So it's like being tracked and you want to keep your audience engaged.
Anyways,
It's fun.
the games I like best are the ones my girlfriend mockingly calls plinker plonkers. Basically, a game with goofy music and no guns, indie games especially. Meanwhile, she's playing shoot, gun, boom games. That's so funny.
I like Plinker Plonkers.
Plink pluggers. Apex Legends. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, that's like
That's a really popular game.
yeah. I didn't even see that code. Let's see. Halo was a really fun game. Oh my gosh, Halo 2. So good. There's something like that, but with an invention instead of speech.
Oh, for Jackbox, yeah. And then there was like the T-shirt one. This is different, like an older version, but you draw things, you come up with slogans, and then they get mashed together for like T-shirt designs. And we had just some real winners on that one.
Yeah. Bye,
right.
Paul. Peace out, everyone. Time for me to focus on my wife. Glad I could slip in and say hi. Glad you could
thank
slip in
Paul.
and say
That's
hi.
awesome. Appreciate it so much. Well, it is 5:10.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of Paul Feinberg. It's Timeberg to say goodbye.
No.
Was that joke appalling? Sorry.
Okay, we're gonna go now.
That's how we end.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
When's the next time we're gonna go live on your channel?
I don't know. I would like to do live streams more regularly, but not so frequent that they become annoying. And I definitely like can't work it into my schedule where it's like every Wednesday or whatever. I'm hoping to do at least one stream a month on there, but I also said that last time we streamed, which was August. So, you know, I would like to just when the stars aligned on Monday and it was a great day for a stream. So I'm hoping that happens like once a month, maybe twice a month.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think in 2 weeks we should definitely, if we're gonna stream on Thanksgiving, we should go earlier. So.
Yeah, and you know we can talk about the two next week. Who would be available and what would be a good time.
Yeah. So anyway, join us in the Discord server. Can you guys like share the link to the Discord server in case anyone watches this and wants to join? If you guys are like not in our Discord server, we have the Couples Table Discord server. Hang out with us. We play games and just chat and hang out. But if there's any like ideas that we're coming up with or tests that we want to do, we're gonna do it with a Discord server. So
yeah, it's a fun little thing. It's still like working it into my habit of like, you know, the things to check every day, but
yeah. All right.
It's time to clear the table.
Thank you. What do I say?
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh.
You just say thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening and watching.
I don't know what you say. And I say it's time to clear the table. Thanks so much for spending your time with us. It's always a blast. This hour actually kind of flew by.
It did. It was fun.
I had a great time. Thank you guys for being here.
If you have any requests for topics, let us know.
And we will see you next time.